Throughout your 13 years of calisthenics training experience, what would you say is the most valuable lesson you've ever learned during this time?
Consistency, definitely. I mean, for those 13 years, I can say I had uh, not even a week without any physical activity. Even when I was injured, I was, doing some basic stuff. But definitely for those years, I had no period in which I totally stopped. So consistency for sure. Listening to those who have more experience than you, definitely. That's also something else. It helped me a lot, but I can say even right now it's more important for those who are starting right now because they have all that information on internet and all those people who are open to help them, all those tutorials on YouTube that you can find everywhere, because at the time when I started there was no tutorials at all. Those things, and listening to your body, that is something that probably I'll also cover later on. But listening to your body and making sure that you're not pushing more than needed. If you feel that you have a pain and so on, like saying, okay, it's fine, all time is with me. I'm good with what I did till now. Going for lower intensity, lower volume, and so on. What is needed to actually stay in a good shape, stay healthy. That's important. And never rushing, and making sure that you're going for the progression that you're currently ready for. If you see that all people around you are going for harder progression, that is still not your time to go for them, just don't do them. Just look at your path, look at your speed, and follow your own speed. That's really important.
So you've had a pretty serious bicep injury in the past. If you could go back in time to before it happened, is there anything you would have changed or done differently to avoid it from happening in the first place?
Keeping track on my trainings when I was traveling, because I had big ups and downs, because when I'm traveling, usually I don't have so much time to really stick to my routine, the usual routine, and let's say having some weeks in which I'm going with less intensity, less volume, but too much difference from what I'm usually doing. So what I'll do and what I'm currently doing is, trying to stay more on the track, not making that big fluctuations. Of course, drinking more water, listening to your body for sure, like if you have some pains and so on, even though in my case it was not that situation. I felt totally perfect before turning my biceps. For 10 years I took no supplements. It's just right now after the surgery when I started. I don't want to say that it's so much important, and if I took those supplements it was going to be way better. It's possible to be actually the same situation, but what I'm taking right now is magnesium and collagen. Those two that are, I can say, the most important. But definitely I'm not putting the 100% focus on that thing, like this is the top important thing. I can say really one of the most important things is getting gradual progress from progression to progression, warming up properly. Those things are, let's say, the 90% of the preparation, and all those other things are the additional things.
Many people tend to rush straight into skills training and try and do all of the advanced stuff that they're seeing on social media, which is not the best thing to do as a beginner. How important would you say it is to master the basics, and what minimum requirement would you give to somebody before training, let's say, for planche, front lever, and so on?
Well, before starting planche and front lever, these are, let's say, the most basic skills: straddle planche and a front lever. Yeah, if we consider like the full progressions, because before that there is tuck planche, there is advanced tuck, and so on. I don't count those things as so much full progression, but I'll definitely say at least 2 years before achieving one of those skills. And before starting the really easy progressions, let's say the tuck planche, I would say again at least 1 year. And it's really depending on what you're doing on that 1 year, whether you're actually progressing in the basics. So if I'm talking about basics and repetitions, for sure, let's say 25 reps of dips, maybe 16, 17 pull-ups. Regular push-ups would be able to make 25, 30 push-ups, something like this. Yeah, definitely that's really important, and that's one of the biggest problems I'm seeing right now on the internet. Those guys that just came to calisthenics, but they're seeing me and some other athletes. They think about, okay, let's go darker with the skills. No, you're not ready. For example, I had to train for 2 years before getting my straddle planche. I was focusing on a handstand for sure. Also, handstand is something else that will actually help you develop some strength and some control in it, because planche, of course, it's a lot of strength, but as well a lot of technical stuff that has something in common with the handstand and so on. So definitely work on the fundamentals. That's so important.
Would you agree that a lot of intermediate athletes starting skills like planche and front lever tend to overthink their training, which could be a reason why they lack progress and are unable to improve?
Yeah, of course, it's really important to listen to your body. I mean, there are some days in which you're just not ready to do the skills that you planned, and if you feel that you need to go some other way, you need to be flexible in accordance to how you're feeling, You should not be too much strict, because if you're too much strict, it's possible, to also increase the risk of injury. Let's say you're tired today, you're not well activated, and you're going for hard skills. Of course, when you're not activated and you're not using your full potential, then of course it's possible to get some problems with the health, some tears, some inflammatories and so on. So definitely listen to your body, but have some direction. I would say have a direction. Yeah, follow the direction, but be flexible in accordance to, as I said, how your body feels.